Welcome to the Friday edition of Dominion Sport right here on Dominion Television, your channel of choice. This wonderful morning, we'll be talking sport right here on the go from the local front. Remember, the MPFL fixtures are set for the weekend. Also, we'll be looking at the World Cup qualification. Some teams are eliminated already, and some teams have made it to the last stage of the qualifiers. Definitely, we'll be giving you more updates coming from the world of the WTA and the ATP. The game's still very much ongoing, and definitely, we'll be talking about the Formula One, the Japanese Grand Prix, right here on the show. And I also want to bring to your knowledge that Nigeria are going to face Iran today. We'll be talking about that on the show also. I am Paul Abe Toluwanimi, and I'm not alone in the studio this wonderful morning. I have Sanuddin Alimi, joining me in the studio this wonderful morning, and also Mabuba, joining me this wonderful morning. Let me just welcome you guys to the show properly. How are you feeling? What are your expectations for the weekend when it comes to the MPFL, the Formula One, and the world of tennis? Let me start off with you.
Well, thank you very much for having me once again, Toluwanimi. Well, I would say that for the weekends, there are a lot of exciting matches to look forward to in the NPFL. And looking at the match that I would say that it's the one that I'm looking forward to the most, I would say it's the Shooting Stars versus Rangers. That is because Rangers are finally at the top of the table for the NPFL. And we also have Shooting Stars, who are a team that have managed to, managed to consistently win on home soil. And going against Rangers, a team that has the NPFL title close to them, I really like to see what will go on, what will go down between the both of them, Shootings and Rangers.
All right. You're a master of the tennis. I'm sure, the NPFL is not what you want to talk about, when it comes to your introduction and also the world of Formula One. What are your expectations?
I'm fine. Good morning, Toluwanimi. Good morning, Mabuba. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to be back here again. And for me, there are no European football to look forward to this weekend, so I have loads of time to share between tennis, Formula One, and other sports, and that's so exciting for me. I'm looking forward to Suzuka happening in Japan. It was all fun. You could see the photo ops for it. Lewis Hamilton is arguably the face of the sport. He did a photo shoot with the samurai master, and it was interesting. And final practice two has been done this morning. We have results of that. We have that to talk about. Tennis on the WTA front, the Sunshine Double is coming to a close. We're in the finals of the WTA. Now we have the semi-finals for the male, and it's going to be an exciting one. We have loads to talk about that. There's a friendly between Nigeria and Iran. That is something we are going to look forward to. This is the first match since the AFCON for Eric Chell and his boys. So that to look forward to. And replacement for Calvin Bassett has also been announced by the Super Eagles national team. We are going to see that. We are going to talk about that as well. And loads of other matches in the MPFL aside from the Rangers Shooting Stars to talk about. So it's Friday. We know it's always packed, ready for action, and looking forward to what's going to go down.
Beautiful. All right. Are you ready for action? Because, we're starting up the story for match day 32 of the MPFL season. Bendel Insurance are going to welcome Plateau United. One big game also to look forward to when it comes to the weekend. Kwara United are also going to face Nasarawa United on Sunday. El Kanemi Warriors against Remo Stars. We have Shooting Stars against Rangers International. We have Barao against Castina United. Niger Tornadoes are going to take on Wiki Tourists. Eyimbam are going to play to Abia Warriors. Bayelsa against Kano Pillars. Ikrodu City against Warri Wolves. And also Rivers United taking on Kun Khalifat FC. Those are the games to look forward to. Let me start off with, Nuruddin, Bendel Insurance against Plateau United. What are the games? What's it looking like for Kennedy Boboye and also they call him the Oracle, Benga Gubote. What are your expectations for that game? Goals or both teams just sitting back, to share the spoils?
Judging by what has happened over the couple of weeks for both teams, I expect goals. And for two managers who know their onions in the MPFL, you should expect them to have well-grounded players and well-grounded tactics for a game such as this. So it's going to be a deep rivalry on the bench, and they're going to see one on the pitch as well. Both teams at some point had consistent runs that help push them out of the relegation brouhaha happening below them, and now they're in comfortable positions up in the league. So it's just exciting football for them. Both teams have gotten their mark for the season. They would avoid relegation by all means right now, and it's just time for them to check if they can do well and finish up on the table, or prepare themselves for the FA Cup to snatch a ticket to the continent, because it's not looking well for both teams to try and compete for the continent via the league standings. So it's just a game between two mid-table sides at the moment, and expect fireworks because of the coaches that are in charge and the players that are going to be at stake for the teams.
All right. I'm just going to ask you. You look at where they are. Bendel Insurance are sitting. They're 7th on the log of the table with 45 points. You look at Plateau United also 9th with 42 points. Just at 2 points separating. This side. And I think the goal for Bendel Insurance was not even the continental ticket because they brought in Kennedy Boboye to help them out of relegation. Same as Binga Ogubote also out of relegation. But now it looks like if we can turn out results home and away, maybe that will give us the chance, for the continental ticket. For you, what are expectations for this game?
Well, also looking at Bendel Insurance, they are not one of the teams that are currently suffering from the away home or away home syndrome. But looking at Plateau United, they're currently going through that right now. They've only had like 3 losses, and for Bendel Insurance, they've had 4 wins. 1 draw, despite them playing away from home. So I'll say that Bendel Insurance are not particularly predictable. And looking at where they are on the table right now at 7th, and we have Plateau who are currently 9th, I'll say that Bendel Insurance do have a stronger chance because I mentioned they are not predictable. They're not a team that is suffering from the away from home syndrome. But we have Plateau who are currently going through that. Whenever they play away from home, we can't particularly expect them to be at their best. And against the Bendel that is in good form, I would say that Bendel Insurance do have a higher hand in this encounter.
All right. Talking about good forms, I think in the last 5 games for Bendel Insurance is 2 losses, 2 wins, and 1 draw. For Plateau United, it's 3 wins and 2 losses. So 1 game to look forward to. It's going to be this game between Bendel Insurance and Plateau United. Let's move away from that and let's take more games to look forward to. Let's talk about Shooting Stars and Rangers International. In your intro, you said Rangers International are looking like a team that has closer to the MPFL title this season. Do you think Shooting Stars can stop that run? And also remember, the vision, for Shooting Stars was to get the continental ticket. And most of their away form has not been too fantastic. Their home front, want to look forward to. They're coming to the Lakers Salami Stadium. Do you think Fidelis Ilochukwu boys and also Coach Nuri Naweroro can also shape out something for themselves?
You see, Rangers have lost 7 games away from home this season, and one of those is just this year. The rest came last year. And looking at Shooting Stars, they are a team, as I mentioned, that know how to win on home soil. But when it comes to playing away, they are not particularly always in their best of form. And coupled with the fact that this same team was able to defeat Rivers United when they came to the Masigba Stadium, they were able to secure the win. So looking at the position that Rangers are currently, a team that is close to winning the NPFL title, if they can maintain their top form against Shooting Stars that is consistent on home ground, I'll say that there is a lot to look forward to in this encounter. I would say that I'm predicting a tough fight from Shooting Stars because they are in a run for continental tickets and they're trying to maintain that consistent win on home. So because when they go away, they do not have that higher mentality to win matches. So for Rangers, I won't particularly, I won't underestimate Rangers. I do see them picking up a fight in this encounter against Shooting Stars. But I will say that I do also see Shooting Stars maintaining their top form when they face Rangers later tomorrow.
All right. Nuruddin, that just made me smile a little bit because, I'm wondering, the last 2 games we watched, they had to struggle to get the victory. And if a team like Rangers International would
have a Shooting Stars at Lakers Salami Stadium of late, this is going to be a different side. They're tactically sound. They have players that can hit you fast on the counter. They have players that know the positions of the players in between the goalkeeper in between the 6 and put the ball in the back of the net. We saw them score 4 goals against Ikorodu City when they visited them at their home. So this is going to be different and going to be an exciting encounter. But for Shooting Stars, they've done it in their last couple of games at home. They were able to grind out the victories, and that's the most important thing. If you win 1, you can ask us now.
Why bring us to this conversation again?
No, honestly, I agree.
They are the poster boys of getting it the hard way or doing it the rough way. Just get the maximum points or get the victory at the end of the day. So that has worked for them, and if that's going to work again for Shooting Stars this time around, they need to be more clinical. They need to take their chances, and it depends on the players Runde Aweroro feels on the field of play because they are very important as well. This is a different side. If the creative mind of Ayobami has been stifled by the opponent, it's always a problem for Shooting Stars. Who replaces that creative thinking box for Shooting Stars in the midfield? Tijani Kabir, is he going to be fit for this game?
Ganifake, he played the last game.
Yes, so we don't know if he's going to be fit for this game. For Ganifake, he didn't travel with them. Is he going to be back? Those are very key players for Nuri Namira inside. But up front as well, Sadiq Ibrahim is doing well. Kamara Dokuke, when he comes off the bench, he gets goals for them. Ismail is very important for them because he helps the full-back channel. He tracks back as much as possible and also gives support to the attack. So those
Lucky.
are
You talk about Lucky.
Lucky, very good on the ball. A problem or two with his pace, but who needs space when you are technical? Just get the ball in the right channel and hold up play for other players in your team to get forward. So it's going to be an exciting one on the Shooting Stars front, and for Rangers International eyeing to extend their lead against over Rivers United in the chase for the title. So it's just all exciting and want to look forward to on Sunday.
Let me ask you your prediction. What are your predictions for that game quickly?
Well, as I mentioned, I see Shooting Stars managing to clinch a win in this encounter. Managing to, because it has worked for them in their previous encounters too, like against Rivers, for instance. For Rangers, I also see them fighting. So I would say that a 2-1 win for Shooting Stars.
A 2-1 win for Shooting.
I think that the match will end in a draw.
A draw.
Maybe a nil draw, a 1-1 draw.
Okay, I think I'm going to lean to that because if I'm going to work with the start, just like Mabuba said, Rangers International going away from home in the last 5 games have not lost away from home.
And in the month of February, they kept a whole clean sheet all month long, and they played about 5 games. So that's to show you how dominant they are. And that's why I said they're different sides from the sides that have they went on level terms twice. Not to talk of a team as strong and being top 4. Who knows what will happen?
Who knows what will happen? All right. I'm sure you're watching us and you want to drop your comments right there in the comment section. Why not just go there and drop it and let's see what you think about the game of the MPFL, most especially the game between Shooting and Rangers International. Drop your prediction and let us know what you think, and you can stand a chance to win something on the show. Thank you so much, my producer. There you have it on the screen. All right, let's move away from that and let's talk about the FIFA World Cup qualification yesterday. Interesting games. I must say, Italy. 1 leg in still. You talk about Italy, you talk about Sweden also. Victor Gyökeres, getting an hat-trick in that game. If we could just have, the pictures of those victory from yesterday. Also, you look at Kosovo, getting the victory. Right, that one was quite shocking to me to see Kosovo. You look at Tunisia. This is Italy getting the victory against North Macedonia. That one ended. This is a friendly between France and Brazil. Much talked about. I was wondering, are we in the World Cup season already? Because there was so much hype around this.
There was so much. There was a lot of intensity between the teams,
I
was surprised with the way it turned out because that's not the kind of Brazil that we were hoping to see. But for France, I feel like they have an unfair advantage because a front line of Dembele, Mbappe, Ekitike, Osile in a World Cup, Brazil had no chance. Brazil defense, they had no chance.
Okay, so
there is no unfair.
Honestly, I don't see unfair. I don't see unfair play here because, for me, defensively too, France defense is in shambles. You might not want to agree with me. Upamecano is not up to par again. You're talking about Ibrahim Konate, not up to par again. So you look at the likes of maybe the Crystal Palace man, Lacroix, coming to the side. Maybe you can pick 1 or 2 again. But you talk about the defense side for France. To me,
even the middle of the pack for me, they are not as strong as they used to be. Now they have to stick with Tchouaméni and
Kamavinga. You look at the likes. I'm trying to remember other players who are in the rank. So
they are not
maybe attack-wise.
Yes, they are solid attack-wise. Not that they don't have lapses in the team, but attack.
Picked up a red card, and France went on to win the game.
Exactly.
So I think for me, it's just the mentality of what is Carlo going to cook when it comes to the World Cup, because there have been so much buzz around Neymar not being part of the team. I watched the game yesterday, and the only thing I could enjoy properly was the flair from Luis Enrique. I mean, the guy from St. Petersburg that came in, it changed the game properly for Delhi. Enjoyed. Now I'm not enjoying it at all.
For me as well, ever since Carlo got the job, I've not seen anything spectacular added to the team because we expected something different. He's a man that knows his onions. Let's see that expertise, or let's see that, but he just seems to stick with his onion, put the players on the pitch, leave them to do what they do. I don't see any tactical.
The same thing they did when it was Madrid. So put them on the pitch and just do your thing.
Do your thing. That works for him.
But it doesn't work in country football. This is not club football. And this is his first country, career.
National team job. Yes,
job.
You can excuse him, but he needs to put in the tactical nuances that would help the team. Because for players like this who don't get the chance to train extensively together, the key inputs from the coaches, the tactical changes or the tactical style or the things you bring to them and instill in them is what gives the nation identity. We talk about the tiki-taka from Spain. That's the identity. for the French national, you see them
Fast-paced.
fast-paced. They want to
Yeah.
go on the counter. So and we know Brazil for their samba, for their beautiful
for the
display.
flair.
So-
yeah.
We've not. We are yet to see that.
I didn't see that yesterday.
What
that
I'm
is-
hoping is that I hope that Ancelotti can actually, shall I say, fix the lapses that we are seeing here. Because because I was hoping to see Vini at his best. I was hoping to see Rafinha at his best. These are guys that are on top form for both teams. Rafinha has 15 goals. Vinicius has like I think 16 goals for Real Madrid for out of all competitions. So with the caliber of players that we have in the Brazil national team, there was no reason as to why the fans should be chanting for Neymar. Personally, I mean, I love Neymar. He's a legend for Brazil. No. He's a legend. He brings something to the team. He's a man that even, honestly, there are people able to win without Neymar even being in the team. I know that the fact that Neymar is a good player, but Brazil with a Neymar is not even immune to defeats. They got knocked out of the World Cup. And even if Neymar is going to join, we need to see the other players at their very best. Neymar can't lead an entirety of 11-man players to win matches or to win an entire tournament. For a team to win consistently, it doesn't have to be with one person being at absolute best and other players just being average. They all have to be in sync and have to put in their very best performances not to actually win trophy. But just hasn't won the World Cup since 2002.
Yeah.
Now it's been over 20 years they won the World Cup. So if you're expecting...
They're still the record holders. And
No, honestly, that is
still-
just historical advantage.
Yes.
It's been a while that they lifted the World Cup. They targeted these 6 stars since 2014. Neymar got injured. 2018, they got knocked out by Belgium. 2022 by Croatia.
Yeah.
And now we are seeing this in Brazil that can't even stand a France national
No,
team. So
you would excuse the fans. Is their star boy. If Ronaldo is out of any squad for Portugal,
yeah.
you see the
You see the
fans,
chant,
you see
agree,
Messi out of the
agree.
national team list. You see calls from people to say, bring these people. I'm not saying Neymar has to be here. Yesterday I talked about Neymar not necessarily being.
It might even be here. Remember that they've extended the squad.
yes,
squad
to
list.
May,
So-
30th of May.
Yeah.
If he's there, good for the team list. A lot of players still have the chance to break into the side that will that will represent their nations
definitely.
Yes.
before the national team coaches drop the final list. So it's just a friendly and it's just a chance for other players that haven't gotten the chance to display their talents for the national team to show their input and tell the coach, I deserve a chance to be on the team going to the USA, Mexico, and Canada.
All right.
Here we
Let's just look at the chart where we have for the teams who would need to qualify when against Jamaica. You look at
The Reggae Boys are back.
The Reggae Boys are back, and it's going to be a big one to look forward to between DR Congo and Jamaica. But
I
they
saw
have the chart.
Leon, Leon Bailey of Aston Villa come on for Jamaica late in the game, and he showed one or two things. It looks like a player that can add an advantage for them, and DR Congo needs to watch out for him, even though I'm not wishing them well. I would like to see the Reggae Boys side of DR Congo in the World Cup. So it was an exciting one, 1-0 victory, got the goal early in the game, and this is the match we would have been looking forward to if the Super Eagles had done what they're supposed to do, but they didn't do that, and we have to watch DR Congo face Jamaica now.
Jamaica, definitely. Okay, let's move away from the chart. Let's talk about the new rule set by FIFA. And the rule number 1: substituted players now have 10 seconds to leave the pitch. If they take longer, the replacement must wait 1 minute of entry. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2: throw-ins and goal kicks will now have 5 seconds countdown. If the ball is not back in the playtime, possession goes to the opponent. Rule number 3: players who receive treatment on the pitch must leave the field and wait 1 minute after play restarts before returning. Let me inform you that rule number 4 says VAR will now also be allowed to review second yellow cards and corner decisions if there's a clear mistake.
Well, I think
The rules.
all the rules are necessary, and I'm in support of every single one of them.
All the rules.
All of them.
Okay.
I'm in
Yeah,
support, and I'm in support of all
I
of
have
them.
reservations.
I know you have reservations.
The
Go
idea
ahead.
that
Yeah, go ahead.
players have only 10 minutes to leave the field of play when the player has been substituted, I'm in support of that one, because over time, across several matches, we've seen situations of players want to take advantage or waste time whenever the scoreline is in their favor. But that's where we might not, there's a lower possibility of us seeing that repeating itself in this 2026 World Cup in USA, Canada, and Mexico. And then the next one says that injury.
No, but it has worked. We've seen it work before.
seen it
Yeah,
work
we've seen
before.
it.
You
So
see
I'm
players that
wondering
want to
want
get
to
off
go back on the pitch immediately.
as soon as
You know,
possible.
so the only thing I might not buy is the fact that some players are trying to fake time injuries because of time wasting.
Yes.
I can agree
I
to
would
this rule.
excuse that.
But if you're saying 1 minute I wait 1 minute outside, and the other opponent is using the opportunity, to counter or maybe to get the goals. So how do you explain that to me?
For a player, I understand for injuries that players fake, like you said.
Yeah.
But what of injuries that don't allow the players to get off the pitch, even though they are willing to help their team and get someone off into the pitch immediately? That's detrimental to the team. And the other one about set piece countdown. Yes, I understand for throw-ins. Some teams delay.
They delay.
Some players will take.
Yeah.
Ashley Young would put the ball on the right side, put the ball on the left side
before it together.
That is always annoying.
Yeah.
But even as a fan of the club he plays for, corner kicks. Why would you put a countdown to that as well? If the corner kick, the set piece taker is coming from the defense or the play, you want to arrange some things. I think they should put a leeway to that. But that one of injuries, taking 1 minute.
I also have a problem with the quick sub too. I don't know. You said 10 seconds. So,
I would agree with that.
So I can agree with that because of the time wasted too. But I'm saying that. So we're saying 10 seconds. 10 seconds is one.
Yes.
So are you expecting me to run?
That is why they've introduced the rule. Get off the pitch
as soon as possible
by the nearest line. Touch line.
Okay, you get off the pitch by the touch line.
Nearest touch line to where you are. So if you are the right back position, you don't need to run down to the dugout to say any part of the touch line that just get out. If you are behind the goalkeeper, just move out of the pitch. So that would ensure players will get off the ball. And for me, that is right. But there are other things they can make improvements. We know the World Cup is where they soft land new rules and all before they introduce it to other leagues and club footballs and all. So for the time wasting, I think they can take a cue from basketball. When the ball goes out, the referee pauses the time. So there are no times for there are no miscalculation. I know they do it in football, but it's still at the discretion of the referee on how many minutes he wants to add. So they can make, if they want to, maximize penalties to players or officials that are looking to bypass the rules and will make the game better.
All right. I want to ask a question. I don't know if you guys saw the story about Donald Trump administration saying, for the likes of Ivory Coast, the teams coming, African teams, they must pay $15,000 deposit. Because of you can so that you can go back to your country, you will just stay and the likes of that. Did you see that?
Yes, we talked about it briefly yesterday, and for me, you won't blame Trump or his administration. One of the key inputs of the Trump administration is controlling immigrants in the country, and the World Cup is going to attract people from all walks of life into the country. So, and in the past,
even $15,000.
Yeah, if you want to watch the World Cup, if you want to travel to watch the World Cup, I assure you are comfortable.
Okay.
Because you have to book hotels, you have to book flight tickets
for stadium,
match tickets, and hospitality in itself is way off the roof. So for someone to take he or herself, or he and his partner or someone, to watch the World, to come to the country to watch the match. Yes, the World Cup is going to attract lots of people. There will be less restrictions on one or two things to work about, but to gain guarantee that you would leave, you won't blame the government. But if it has done for one side, the question mark is, why are you excusing other nations
from doing that?
From doing that?
Why is it just Africans?
Why is it just Africans and some other demographics that are a bit targeted with this new rule?
Personally, I'm not in support of that rule. I understand the fact that Trump is trying to reduce the number of immigrants who are in the United States, but to put that level of responsibility or that inconvenience simply because I want to come over to your country to come watch the World Cup, I'm not a supporter of that. I know that politics and football, they can be totally separated, but bringing something new to discomfort people or to inconvenience people simply because you want to control immigrants in your country, it doesn't. The fact remains that immigrants will still find a way to get into America, legally or illegally. So it's not the first time that the World Cup is taking place. But for the fact that it's taking place in America and it's coming with this level of inconvenience, it's not something I am in support of. If there's other ways, I'm sure there are other ways at which they can ensure that players will come. The fact remains that if people don't come into America through the World Cup, they don't have to find other ways to come into it. So this is not like a one-off route to simply wipe out immigrants from the US immediately, like totally. It doesn't work. So this is just like a small percentage in reducing the number of immigrants in the country. So I don't see I don't see how justified or reasonable it is to inconvenience people who simply want to enjoy the
It's
beautiful
not an
game.
inconvenience.
It is
like
an
I said.
inconvenience.
If you want
It is
to
an
go- if you want to go
if
to the
I
World
want to
Cup,
watch the World Cup,
yes.
I'm the owner of my money. I
Yes.
earned my money.
Yes.
Money is not being plucked from trees.
Yes.
People work hard to earn. So we're talking about $15,000 US.
That is what
It is
I'm
not
telling
chicken
you.
change. It's not
Yes,
toothpick
but
money.
the World Cup is 3-4 months away. If you check the prices right now, you would understand the reason why the price was pegged. Yes, it looks harsh. It looks very. I don't know how to put it in simpler terms, but government would take measures to safeguard their people,
I agree.
and that is a measure from
That
them.
I agree.
In Saudi and in the Middle East, last time at the World Cup in Qatar, alcohol was given designated places to be sold just to accommodate people, and it wasn't to be taken to the venues and all, just to accommodate. So you have to live by the rules of your host. There were lots of human rights violations, allegations that were made against the Qatari nation in the build-up to the World Cup. At the end of the day, World Cup held, everybody enjoyed themselves and went back to their nations. They are left with what they have. And for the United States, they don't want what has happened to them in the past to affect them. And for the price, for me, might look exorbitant, but if you want to go to the World Cup, I still maintain you have to be very comfortable and rich enough.
All right.
I don't agree. But
That's fine.
We'll have more time to talk about it
That's
when
fine.
we get to the World Cup.
We'll talk
Okay.
about it behind the learns objection. Now, let me inform you that it does not allow it does so allow PSG to better prepare for the tie versus Liverpool. And I'm wondering what's going on. Learns are saying, we don't want this game to be postponed. We want to play this game. But at the end of the day, it looks like, PSG went to the court and finally, they have said that game is going to be postponed because of the tie for Liverpool for them to prepare better.
personally, I'm in support of that.
You support?
I'm in support of that.
Okay.
The reason is because we've talked over and over about how players are being made to play too many matches and they have become victims of certain injuries. Now, if we have players playing back-to-back matches and injury should occur, the player will be the one who is affected.
But is that Lens problem now? That's
But the game that was postponed, actually we played later
in
a congested fixture as well.
Yes,
so I don't see.
so I don't. So quiet. Okay, so I'm not going to box you, but I just need clarity to why you are saying this is nice for Paris Saint-Germain.
As I mentioned earlier, when the reason as to why they asked for the match to be postponed is for them so they can better prepare, and it's also to avoid this heated schedule of them playing Lens and then playing Liverpool in the Champions League. As I mentioned before, and I'm still on it, is the fact that I am of the opinion that the matches that players are being subjected to play over a certain period of time, it's definitely have effects on these same players. And I recall last year there was this whole argument about players having to play lots of matches, and then lots of players are becoming victims of ACL injuries and groin injuries or ankle injuries. If this can actually be a measure for players to actually have resting time so that they can better prepare and focus on a particular encounter. And let's not even look at the fact that PSG is a team that's representing France in the UEFA Champions League. Not that I'm trying to be biased in this instance, but this is a team that, as I mentioned, is supposed to play Lens. But if, because you mentioned that they went to the courts, you might not be in support, but the fact still remains that, the fact still remains that politics, as I mentioned, politics and sports, they are not two separate things. They are interwoven.
If Lens were to play PSG and are the ones that play Liverpool, Lens going to be given a time of.
We can never know.
The reason why Lens are fighting to play it is they are in a two-horse race for the title, for the Ligue 1 title, and they're giving just one point. They're giving our opponent a chance to. This is not the first time it's happening this season. Other teams in other leagues bring the games to Friday, as early as Friday. The Bundesliga,
Slotstick complained about the defeat to Brighton because he said after the Champions League they had to play the game, early kickoff.
And it's a team sport. Everybody should be prepared for all competitions you have to play this season. That's right. And PSG are rich enough. I think they played politics with Lens, and it's just what it is. You just have to move on and agree with them at the end of the day.
All right, let's move on quickly. Let's talk about the game between Nigeria before we move to tennis. Nigeria-Iran for you. What are your mindsets going into that game for a coach like Eric Shells? What are the positives he needs to pick from that game against Iran?
So personally, I see this game against Iran as an opportunity for these players to actually come together and play represent the Nigerian jersey after the unfortunate
AFCON,
or the turnout of the 2025 AFCON.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to an exciting encounter, although Iran isn't particularly that much of a tough team, because I was hoping that they were going to pick a much bigger team so as to test the, shall I say, the intensity of this Nigerian side.
Yeah.
But since it's Iran, they're also a team. They're not of any less quality. So I'm looking forward to this match being an exciting one. And for Eric Chile, I feel it's an opportunity for him to bring these boys together, and let's just see this boy or these men play for us once more, despite the turnout of the 2025 AFCON.
All right. Because for our time, let's just take a tennis story quickly.
Yes, tennis. I give an intro in the earlier players. Sabalenka world #1. She's gotten to her 15th record WTA 1000 Masters final. For Yannick Sinner, he's the first man to win 14 consecutive games in Miami, and he had the Sunshine Double, but he faces Zverev in the semi-final, which is going to be the blockbuster for me in this semi-finals. On the other end, Coco Gauff is the youngest 1000 Masters 1000 opener. Very good one for her. First time in front of her home fans, and that's another record for her. For Yannick Sinner, the record continues. He's won 30 consecutive sets. He has 15 consecutive matches. He's won 10 consecutive wins in Miami, and that's a very good one for him, setting the record. On the WTA front, on the other end, Sabalenka was defeated Rybakina. This is their third match this season. Rybakina got the first one in Australia Open, and since then they faced twice now. Last time in the Indiana Wells final, Sabalenka won that. She's in the double now. I mentioned she's in that 15th final now.
15, yeah, right.
She defeated her 6-4, 6-3 to advance to the final. And for Coco Gauff, it's going to be a big one in front of our home crowd. Everybody's going to come out for against Sabalenka. Most nation is not supported at it all right now, so it's a very good one. But for Gauff, was a dominant performance yesterday, 6-1, 6-1. She dissipated her opponent, and she's in front of her fans again. And on Sunday, we'll know who's going to play the final between in the men's front. And on the Formula 1 front, I spoke about that earlier. Final practice 2 is done now.
It's done.
Final practice 3 is tomorrow, and qualifying is tomorrow, and the main race is on Sunday. That's so much to look forward to in Japan. And I know without European football to catch a lot of people's attention, that is something I want you to watch. And right now, in the final practice 2, Lando Norris, current champion, came in fourth, behind the Mercedes Pierre, and his teammates in McLaren got the first one. The Ferrari Pierre, Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton followed them side by side. And at the end of the day, we'll see what happens in final practice and qualifying tomorrow.
Boys are getting in full shape. Oscar Piastri, finishing up first on the podium in the free practice 2, just like Nurjan